just wanna chill and vibe. Baby girl, keep it real, no lies. She said she's 21, I said alright. If we gon' be grown, then speak your mind. I just wanna chill and vibe. 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 Soon as baby turn up, you know Buddha gon' turn up. Turn up, gon' turn up. Soon as baby turn up, you know Buddha gon' turn up. Gon' turn up. Soon as baby turn up, you know Buddha gon' turn up. Gon' turn up. Soon as baby turn up, you know Buddha gon' turn up. Let's start the show. Only good vibes.
You know I made you big.
No, I'm serious. Let's start the show. Come on, mom. Come on, mom. Only good vibes. Turn up. Turn up.
Hey, what's good, Sippers? This is your boy Buddha, and over there's lovely
baby.
and we coming to you live with another rendition of
Sipping in conversation.
Ooh, I like the little shimmy you got going on.
It's the
there.
dancer in me. It's the
That's
dancer.
the
I can't
dancer.
help it.
So,
The toes had no pointed to y'all. Just
Yes,
see
if you can
that.
see them underneath the table, they definitely are pointing straight down to the floor.
ooh. So, baby, how was your day?
Y'all, it was actually a pretty good day. It really was. It was busy. I was extremely busy because I'll be off for the next 2 days.
Ooh.
Yeah. How was your day, baby?
Oh, my day was early, long, early. Like I had to be at work at 3 something in the morning. Thanks to y'all online shoppers. I appreciate
y'all.
y'all for making me wake up so early in the morning. But it's all good. I'm blessed to have a job.
Absolutely, man. And special guest. How was your day?
The day was good. It was good. Working. I actually teach part-time at an elementary school, and so school is finally out in West Palm Beach, Florida, but I'm still working. Life of a business owner and other things. So.
Yeah.
But a good day nonetheless.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yes. So listen, get right into it. Last week, it was a very, very sensitive topic, but it was a much needed topic. So what we talked about a little bit on last week was about domestic violence and its impact. And, ultimately how I threw out a lot of statistics that, kind of went along with actually some of the information that our special guest from last week, she was a, a victim of domestic violence. And so, some of the things she was learning about, just the imbalance of the system itself and, how the process works and, just all the hoops and hurdles, and that a lot of people, they don't report because they, generally, they see, especially people of color, they see that they're already so oppressed. And so in a way, we kind of protect the abuser by not putting them in more trouble, but yet we're not holding them accountable. And so some of the impacts, if you were a child, that grew up in a home that was, abusive, or you grew up in a neighborhood that was abusive and so forth, then you potentially, there's a 50-50 chance you may become that adult. And so we talked a little bit about that. What are your thoughts on domestic violence and its impact?
in general, we're all products of our environment anyway, right? So, speaking to what you were just saying about growing up in a home, growing up in a community, or just seeing it, everything that we see as we grow kind of impacts who we are. And so in seeing things like that, it wouldn't be surprising that you would possibly end up one being an abuser or being one that is abused. But I think the key to that is recognizing that it's not your fault, especially as a victim. And I understand like not wanting to necessarily, bring more heat to our community and put another black man, if it is someone of our, of our race, in prison and things like that. But at the same time, you're not deserving of that. And just because you may have grown up seeing that or have witnessed that, it doesn't mean that that's who you have to be. So I think it's very important that we take ourselves away from our experiences sometimes, especially if those are things that are very negative and can impact us in a negative light. So I think it's about understanding that we all have dealt with trauma in all regards at some point in our lives, I'm sure. So it's about healing that and recognizing that we're bigger and greater than that at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
Well spoken.
Well spoken. Buddha, you have any recap thoughts on that? Because there we talked a little bit about more than just physical.
Psychological abuse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All that is prominent, especially in the black community.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't shit, your mama ain't shit, your daddy ain't shit, whatever. All that plays, it hurts. You don't know what negative idea or thoughts come from that. You know what I mean? How you are a creature of habit. And now you with a woman, because I'm a man, you with a woman, or a man, whoever. And now you saying they ain't shit because that's what you heard.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Or you slapping your girlfriend because you seen your father or your mother slap.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's about breaking those cycles.
Right. I feel like in one aspect, a lot of our generation coming up, men are supposed to be strong, right? And we're taught that a man is supposed to hit a woman, even after the fact, even if they get hit by a woman. We supposed to stand our ground and be the bigger person. Where did that ideology come from?
Mm-hmm.
What made it okay for us men to have to endure such abuse?
Right.
Just saying. Those are questions that need to be asked.
Yeah. And we absolutely need to normalize speaking up.
Mm-hmm.
We are no longer in a time where you need to sweep things under the rug, and families need to basically stop harboring and sheltering the abusers. So I personally, never experienced it to that magnitude, so I just, I've had little small things, trying to be out here dating or whatever, but it never really went to, it could have went farther, but, I could have stopped to that, ended the relationship basically, and I was out of there, because that's not something that I was accustomed to. So that was, but, we talked about, you're not really prepared when it happens, especially when it's from somebody that you actually love, so
Right.
I say get help. Either
right.
way.
Absolutely.
So I was coming, as we're talking about it, I was coming from a perspective of being the abuser. Like I was in a situation where, a domestic violence situation, where I was the abuser. And how I had to learn, I sat in jail, obviously, and I had to learn that my actions have reactions, you know what I'm saying? Certain courses, even though I felt in my heart of heart that I was defending myself, self-defending myself, but I am the stronger, larger person being, and I gotta accept my own responsibility in the role that was played. So I'm not shunning my responsibility of doing what's right or wrong. I'm supposed to be the example,
right,
in all situations, especially being a man. So,
but we also, women, we need to also be mindful that there are men that are choosing to be the bigger person, which doesn't make them a less of a man. It's just making them be the person that's trying to avoid confrontation or an escalated situation where they can easily shit can go crazy real quick. You know what I'm saying? So we have to be mindful of not antagonizing and provoking situations, especially when we're doing it intentionally.
Absolutely.
To get what we gonna get.
Yeah.
If he go too far or he choose not to, this not the time he want to be the bigger person.
Right. You should never assume. You should never assume that the person is going to be the bigger person.
Yeah.
Never, because that's when you'll get, oh my God, I'm
Right.
here now.
Yeah.
Then you crying, you call the police, and then you turn around and go and get him out of jail.
I mean, I thought he loved me. That's the next question.
Yeah, you know,
Oh,
it's
he
just.
loved me. Yeah.
So I'm here for everybody doing what's right.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day, and like you said, great point. We talked about it last week as well. Get the help.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know, I mean help, the psychological help, a psychiatrist. You need to go and see someone because you know where your environment stemmed. You know what happened. You may not want to admit it because it's a hard place to deal with, but it's a reality. And until you face those deeply rooted issues or issue, then you're going to continuously be the victim.
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, I agree. But then there's the other side of the pillow, right? You don't, sometimes in certain circumstances, you don't even know you have an issue until it comes up. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes as a kid, you sweep it back in the back end of their mind, and it never comes back again until it comes back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Kind of cross those bridges.
as it comes.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. There's really no right or wrong to it, but what is absolutely wrong is nobody should be abused.
Absolutely.
That's bottom line. Okay, physically, mentally, psychologically, emotionally, financially, all of that elite. Nobody should be abused. Intentional abuse. All right.
Speaking of abuse, I need some alcohol abuse up in here. What the hell are y'all sipping on?
Yeah.
You hear me?
I don't know. Buddha did some. He
Come on,
probably,
same thing. Come on.
he gave me the baby drop. It's called a baby drop.
Baby drop. That's what I have as well. Let me clank.
Oh, Jesus.
It's a baby drop. So we got lemon vodka and some ginger ale.
And it's very tasty.
Yeah.
I'm just
And I'm sipping
Make it
on some
pop. And you're sipping.
Kentucky bourbon.
You want to show them what it look like?
Oh, shoot.
Because one day they gonna sponsor us.
Come on, sponsorship.
This is what it looks like. It comes in a 4-pack.
It's a 4-pack,
It's a
but
4-pack.
you trust and believe you don't need but really one,
Two.
maybe two, depending on what mood you're trying to
Put
get
on your
in.
body size. Put on your body size.
Yeah. Because what's the percentage of alcohol in that?
13%.
One beer. And how many ounces is that? 16?
Yeah, man. I got
Give or take?
The funny part is, right? The season finale last year, I had the whole last season.
Oh, the big tall one.
And I poured all the boys in
It
the mouth.
takes about what, 5 beers?
It takes 5 beers to fill that glass. And
Oh my goodness.
And the secret was, could I finish that?
Did you finish it?
Absolutely.
Did he?
Were we still getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning though?
No.
No, I was getting up an hour later, so it was like 4.
Oh, struggle bus.
But he was definitely
Feeling it.
feeling
Good.
the full effects of it, which was hilarious. Okay, I was like, come on back.
I'm here.
All right, y'all, you'll see it. We got a special guest alert.
Who is she?
Who is this woman? Okay, so you probably saw me make some posts, or saw Buddha make posts. One of us, all of us, both of us, showing you this here banner of this beautiful sister. Okay.
And she's single and unavailable. For those who are
I love
inquiring.
that. Single and unavailable.
Shout out to Crow Easy.
Shout out to Crow's Nest Promotion. Tonight we have by Facebook Miss Samantha Tiel. She is the owner, founder of Soul Movement LLC. What is Soul Movement?
Please tell me.
Please tell the people.
Okay, let's get into it. Soul Movement essentially is many things. It's centered around dance and providing dance to my community. And when I say my community, I mean that's of underserved, underrepresented in the dance world, essentially Black and brown young ladies and men, for those of us who want our young men to dance. And the goal of Soul Movement is to bring the art form of dance to those communities. Currently, I reside in West Palm Beach, Florida, where I was born and raised. So the goal right now is to bring dance to that community, the community that raised me. And so we provide dance classes in the areas of ballet, jazz, modern, hip hop. We've had some guest teachers come in and do some tap even. And essentially it's just to bring the art form of dance to a community that may think they know about it, but maybe not so much, or those who want to know more about it and can't afford it. It's just really providing them the opportunity to partake in an art form that for me built who I am as a person, the ability to be creative, still to learn how to be responsible and to be disciplined, and yet having a safe space to just completely be you and who you are. So it is focused on dance, but it's definitely for me about ensuring that I really create a well-rounded individual. So yes, you're learning dance, but you're learning all the skills that are going to be necessary. My favorite line being, I'm not just preparing you for the studio, I'm preparing you for out there. Because out there, there's a world that will not care about you, that will not hold you and coddle you and love on you the way that I may or your parents may. So I want to make sure that when you go into that world, you're more than self-sufficient and ready and able to be successful there. So that's what Soul Movement is. It's basically definitely a passion, a purpose-driven thing for me. It's definitely beyond just making a little bit of money. You know, it's about really giving these young ladies and men, I don't have any right now, but they're welcome, giving these young ladies the opportunity to recognize who they truly are and who they can become.
Wow.
Well, I'm going to just say this. That was very passionate. And you knew exactly what you wanted.
You knew the assignment. She knew the assignment, okay? So go ahead.
So what, there's no twerking going on.
There is no twerking going on.
Because there's some people asking me, like when I told them it was a dancer coming on.
Yeah.
The first thing they said, does she twerk?
Does she twerk? Now, I made a little bit, you know, in my former life. Anyways, no, in my current one too. But that's not what we're doing here. And again, I always tell people, you know, there's an avenue for twerking, there's an avenue for commercial dancing, there's an avenue for majorette style of dancing. For me, and the fact that I grew up in it, the form that I'm choosing to give our babies is that of a more technical form, just because that's what I know. And I know what being in that arena did for me, even though I was, you know, I felt pretty by myself at times because there weren't many dancers in the space that looked like me. There definitely weren't teachers that looked like me outside of maybe 2 that I can name right now. So my goal and my focus is to give them that form of dance. Everybody else that's twerking and hip hopping and doing all the other stuff, that's great. That's just not where I am and what I'm giving our babies right now.
Okay. So have you always done dance, or is this just something that's just brand new? So
I've always done it. I started dancing myself when I was 7 years old. Continued doing it throughout high school. Went on to college. Thought that I was going to actually be, you know, a part of the band's dance squad at that particular school. And that didn't work out, but I still was able to dance for the basketball team. So it actually.
Oh, you danced for the basketball.
Okay, so not for them in the sense of like, you know what I'm saying? There wasn't any private dances happening. It was on the court.
Oh.
I don't know if that's okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay, sorry.
get it on the floor. Get it on the floor.
Okay, I'm from down south too, so it don't take much for that. But okay, let me come back to being professional here. But so I did dance for the basketball team, and it was interesting because I was straight up ballerina, but they worked with me. Thank you so much, Jonas Vanderbilt, for working with your girl on that. But yeah, so I've always danced. But then I actually went to school. As I said, I was in college. So I was actually a school psychologist for about 10 years. And just kind of, dance had always still been around me, though. It wasn't like it ever left. It was, you know, me still taking classes and like teaching little baby classes here and there, and just recognizing, like, it was literally like that aha moment, like, you're really not happy doing what you're doing. You know, what is it that really drives you? Like, what is it that makes you feel fulfilled? And it's always been about community for me, and definitely about uplifting our community. So what better way than to kind of tie both of those things in, my love for community, my love for dancing, and kind of make that work for us, right?
So you feel that people have passions and things, but then they go off and they do something else. So should they go off and do something else, or should they always stick with their passion?
So the dollar is going to tell you to go ahead and do that job, that career, because you want that money. But I will say that, and at first it took me some time to get to this point that I'm about to get to, but the fulfillment that I have now, making a substantially less amount of money, I could never have gotten that with the job that I had before. I love being a school psychologist. Definitely think that I made a difference. But I think that what I'm getting and seeing now is something that money really can't buy at all. Like the looks on the faces, I didn't think I could do it and I did it, you know, them getting accepted into the School of the Arts, and like all these things that I'm having a hand in. And a lot of times I don't even pay attention to it because I'm always like, I tell my friends all the time, I'm just doing this. Like, I'm just doing it. I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just doing it. But when I do allow myself to take a step back and I can see the smiles on the faces and the parents like, oh, you know, thank you so much. It really shows me that there's something beyond the dollar bill. Although money is still great, you know, pays bills. But yeah.
We gotta keep a roof over these heads.
Yes, we do. But I am much more fulfilled, and I will say to those who might be struggling with that, you know, start small. It literally started with me writing it down. Erykah Badu once said, you know, write it down and watch, you know, show up. And that's exactly, like, literally, I promise you, that's what happened. Like, it's just amazing. Like, it went from a writing down to like boom, 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 and like maybe 3 months later, I was leaving my job and doing this. But definitely take your time. Don't let social media, the masses, make you feel like you have to be at a certain place at a certain time. Just take your time, and if it's what you're supposed to be doing, before you know it, it'll show up. It's my thing.
Who is your top mentor in the dance world?
Wow. I honestly
of the top, I should say, because I know you have a couple.
Yeah, I would say I wouldn't say mentor per se because he's deceased, but if you know me, you know that I really love Alvin Ailey, which created Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater that's in New York City. And a lot of what I'm doing kind of mimics in a way of what he did. And basically what he did, for those who aren't aware, is he went into the communities in New York and pulled kids and it started, you know, giving them dance. Hashtag giving them dance. Giving them dance, and eventually that formed his school, which formed his company, and here they are 50 plus years later, thriving in New York City, performing all over the world. So, you know, not mentor in the sense of he's here to guide me, but at the same time, as an ancestor, I do think that he's definitely pulling me forward, and I definitely look at all that he's done, as well as many others, but that's like one main focal person, I would say.
How do you keep your craft up to date?
Why are you laughing?
Because you hit me with the breath before you talk.
Yes, okay, yeah, because that's my, deep breathing, you know, meditation, try it. How do I keep it up to date? I would say just, you know, keeping, honestly, social media, because there's so, you know, right now everything is social media and the internet, right? So we have access to all these things.
Mm-hmm.
So,
there is a good point to having access to information.
yes, one or two. But just really, you know, looking at what younger dancers are doing, what choreographers are doing, still looking at what, you know, even what Ailey's doing, you know, because they have works that have been in play for years that still will conjure something up in you. So it's inspiration is out there. So for me to stay, I guess, on the rise of things, it's just to really tap into younger people that are coming, but also what's already been there and kind of revisiting those things. Sometimes we forget what has happened prior to, right? So sometimes you have to go back, pick it up, and bring it forth too. So
Okay, Buddha.
yeah.
Oh, you wait for me.
Buddha be having some questions.
Look,
So
we already halfway here, so I don't know where we.
So,
got questions still.
yeah, I sure do. So, what advice would you give an upcoming dancer who's looking to make this thing work as a life, like a business? So, well, so you're in business for yourself,
Right.
So you have a person who's looking to make this a business, and as you left a real lucrative job to become
with a degree.
Every day, shout out to you, Dad. Love you, mean it.
All right. So, what advice or what bit of advice would you give that person who's looking to pursue their dream in being a dance instructor? Because at the end of the day, you know, as kids, we grow up, right?
Right.
So they grow up and they may say, "What do you want to do?" "I want to be a dancer." Okay. Most black people be like, "Do you have another option?"
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So what would you tell these kids, adults, young adults, whoever, whatever, what would you tell them?
I would tell them be ready, be ready, be ready. For all of that, the naysayers and the ones who are like, dance. But I think that you just have to be at a place where you know that this is what you want to do. So you're gonna have to be prepared to walk a faith walk, be prepared to take hits from haters, but also be prepared to literally just roll with the punches. I think it's a matter of really seeing where you're located, what's needed in that community, in that area. Can this work? You know, like I was saying before, you know, maybe start out small. Maybe you just go into some community centers and do some stuff. Maybe you know, take a class, you know, teach a class here and there during like summer and winter breaks, depending upon where you live. You know what I mean? So you don't have to necessarily just throw yourself into it if you're not particularly sure which way to go, because this life is not an easy one, I will say, but a very, you know, very fulfilling one at the same time. So I would say just really kind of writing it down. Because I feel like I just kind of was like, I'm doing this, you know, and then, which a lot of us have to do that, because if we don't, we won't do it.
Yeah.
And I've kind of learned along the way. But if you have the ability to have some business courses under your belt, because for me, I'm always like, I just want to dance. Like, that's it. Like, I was twirling earlier. Like, I'm just floating, right? So this has been a learning curve, but a curve that I can handle. Of being in the business side of it, because for me, I'm always like, I just want to dance. Like, I don't want to do all the other stuff, but I have to do that because I'm still creating and building my team even now. You know, to have consistent people. So I would just say, kind of start small. Definitely try to make a plan, but also be aware that plan can look like this, and that can go way over here and then way over there, and be prepared for that. But you know, be steadfast, be disciplined. And just be up for the fight that you're going to get, because everybody is not going to understand what you're doing. Like, I saw a meme that was like, you know, everybody's not going to understand your vision because they weren't on the call. It wasn't a conference call. So being able to remember that everybody won't see it, but it doesn't mean that it's not me. And if the doors aren't opening, then maybe you do have to kind of be like, maybe this isn't for me. But if doors are opening, that means you're pretty much on the right path. And I can attest to that. Like, if the doors are closing, that's one thing. But if they're opening, that means you're coming and you're on the cusp of something. So you just keep pushing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And sometimes maybe, you know, the doors they may be closing at this point.
At that point, absolutely.
So I would probably just add that don't be discouraged.
Don't be discouraged.
It may just mean give it a few, you know,
not
you
right
may
now. It's
just
not
right now.
Not right now.
Okay.
That's a valid point. Thank you. Yeah.
So my next question, and my final question, and I'll let you guys be great. So, when it's all said and done, and everything has been laid out, and your body of work is here, right? And somebody says, Samantha, who is she and what does she mean to this world? What legacy are you trying to leave for everybody to understand who you are?
You big boy status, huh? One last question, and that's it. You going up the spot like that?
Well, if you pay attention, that is always the question.
Oh.
Boom.
Ooh. You gonna make my little hair rush.
Ooh.
Oh.
You know what? Before you answer that, I'm gonna let you pause and think about it. Listen, before you do that,
Okay.
what I want to do is show the people a little bit about what you do.
Okay.
Wait, what? What you got over there?
We're innovative over here. Oh. We stepping up our game.
Oh, wait, you got it from? What is it? Wait a minute, I gotta take that off. Hold on, y'all.
Oh, wow. We got a portal. There we go. Let's see what we got here. Oh, was that a good question, you think?
Very good.
You know, because what's important, what's so important for us is to actually see, you know,
What you doing?
see this in motion.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yes, they
Sorry.
can.
Oh, sorry.
It's good.
Sorry.
Your passion.
These are
Oh
these
my
are our
God.
babies. Little hip thrust. Get into it.
Oh God, so they're gonna hear my mouth in the background. Did you pay attention to what was being said before I keep posting? Oh, hey. And those little bits right there are like 4th and 5th grade at the time. No, maybe even 4th grade. 4th and 5th. And some of them are still with me now, actually.
So I really wanted to just, you know, show what is going on in your world.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when we say you have these young ladies and you know, you got look at your other kids.
That's your kids, man.
Yes, these are my babies at my elementary school. Oh my God, I stay like, yes.
You know,
I'm sorry.
Just a little bit of shenanigans.
I know. Oh my God. I'm sorry, guys. I just love these children.
And you're like, okay. You know, just a little something for the people to see that this is actually, you know, you really are doing this, and you know things are, you know,
yeah, we doing some things.
this is not just a game.
Oh my God.
So pay attention, fellas. Pay attention to the work. Don't look at her like as the object of desire.
Oh.
I mean, because she is single
and
unavailable.
unavailable.
So
shout out to Crow Easy.
Crow Easy, hey, how you doing?
So these are just a lot of, you know, some of her babies.
And this is actually a couple years ago. So some of these babies are big girls. Oh, hey,
Mama Silk.
That's my mama. Hey, girl. Hey, girl. Hey.
And that's Soul Movement.
All right. Now it's your time. Answer the question.
So, your legacy.
Y'all, how'd I go?
What, when it's all said and done, what do you want the people to know Samantha did? What legacy does Samantha want to leave with Soul Movement or just Samantha in general?
Y'all ain't right for this. And I want y'all to know I had told them beforehand. Where were the questions that I need my questions beforehand, so I'm prepared, and that's what they did to me.
But these are things that you think about.
They are, but
roll with it.
I'm so weird because I do, but okay.
Speak from your
I
heart.
think that there's more to what I'm about to say, but just where I am right now, the legacy that I would want to leave is I want kids to be able to talk about me in their futures and say there was somebody who looked out for me, who cared for me, who loved me. I want to be, and I think I've seen this on Instagram before too, but I want to be the adult in their lives that I seeked in mine. Yeah. So I just want them to be able to know that there was somebody, and of course, we know we have our mothers and our fathers, but sometimes they don't always get us. They don't always see us. Yeah, sometimes it takes that some outside people to kind of, that are with you in a different arena to kind of really see who you are. So I just want to know that they felt seen, that they felt great, that they recognized who they were, who they could become. I want them to be able to say, yeah, she taught me how to dance, but, you know, she taught me how to, you know, to be, you know, a self-sufficient person. She taught me how to be successful. She taught me how to stand firm and stand my ground of who I am and what I am, and to recognize that where I come from and who I come from and who I can become. And because these are all the things that I pour into them, from kindergartners to 16-year-olds to even, I have one of my older students right now, is 21, and we still, you know, I'm still pouring into her and buying her, you know, planners, and I'm like, okay, you need to write in your schedule, like you need to create a schedule. You said you want to do this. So I just want to make sure that at the end of the day, they'll be able to say, I know that Miss Cyprian, Miss Samantha cared about me, and not just about me, but about who I would become at the end of the day. Like, we don't do emotion. Hold up. Because for me, it is so much more, like, it's like, I can't even talk. Like, I don't even know if I don't have the words to even describe what this means for me. Like, it's so far beyond me. It's so much about uplifting our community and our little girls and making them understand they're little princesses who will become queens and who will be able to run this shit one day. I don't know if I'm allowed to curse. I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Run this shit someday. And be bigger and better than me. And hopefully what they'll do is then, even if it's not through dance, in another arena, then pour into those who are coming after them. So that's where I'm at with my legacy right now. Is
keep on building, Samantha. Yes. So moving.
You gave me so much more to talk about, but we're going to commercial break.
So moving. And so, this shirt you have on.
Yes, I don't know if y'all can see it, but it says, let your soul be moved.
Did she do the little word?
Yes, she's a dancer. Always.
And them toes did. Oh
my God.
Y'all will never see the toes right now.
I'm looking
Trust
down.
me.
I'm looking
Well,
down.
if she did this, them toes did a whole pirouette.
Which is not what that is, by the way, but yes.
Whatever it's called.
That right there. But it is a that's it right there. A whole pirouette.
If y'all ever see someone say anything about twinkle toes, it's me.
That thing, yes.
We will be, it's a backstory, but I'm going to be quick. We will be in the gym at 5:30 in the morning. I said the gym. Why is she on the machine
Still doing
like a ballerina? Who's on the weight machine? Y'all see these hands? Them her toes pointed. Like, no, I need you flat foot and ready. Like, and she's like,
I don't know how to do it. I don't know.
yeah, so she's Twinkle Toes, aka my daughter.
Hey, what's up?
Okay, that's what's up. So, final words?
I'm gonna bring this question after the break, baby.
After the break?
After the break.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can I say something really quick because I didn't finish? Let your soul be moved, tagline. But this shirt was created by my friend Ashley down in West Palm Beach. I don't know how to say her Instagram name. If you're watching, don't kill me. But if you want to know how to get a shirt made, if you need a shirt made, I don't know if I'm allowed to do this, but she made it. And again, it just says, let your soul be moved. May your soul be moved. Commercial break, that's what y'all said. Oh, I read the thing. I'm sorry.
Oh, you great.
Listen, we'll be
Right back.
give us about a minute and a half. We'll be back. Go
Get
ahead
your
and
drink.
Get your drink.
freshen up your beverages.
Drink.
And then we're going to jump into tonight's topic, because it's the season finale, but we had to bring on, because dance is life.
Y'all hear that rhythm in your head? Dance.
And your boy. Oh, this is for the simples.
Yeah. We sipping in conversation. We sipping in conversation. We sipping in conversation. Yeah. We sipping in conversation. What it is, or what it do. If your homegirl sipping, then bring her on through, huh? What it is, or what it do. If your homegirl singing, then bring her on through, baby.
What it is, what it do. If your homeboy sipping, then gon' come through. What it is, what it do. If your homeboy sipping, come through.
What it is, or what it do. If your homegirl sipping, then bring her on through, huh? What it is, or what it do. If your homegirl singing, then bring her on through, baby.
What it is, what it do. If your homeboy sipping, then gon' come through. What it is, what it do. If your homeboy sipping, come through.
We sipping in conversation. We sipping in conversation. Yeah, we sipping in conversation. We sipping in conversation.
Real talk, real life, real people. Real talk, real life, real people. Hey, real talk, real life, real people. Real talk, real life, real people. Buddha and Babiiiii.
We're back, Silvers. If you was a fly on the wall,
Yes.
you would have heard it all.
Oh, behind the scene conversations, honey. Big Poppy. What's good, sippers? And we back.
So before we get into the topic, you know, I was triggered by something she said. So I was gonna ask her, right now. You was about to get emotional, and you said, "Oh, don't do emotion. Why don't you do emotions?"
And if my therapist was watching, she would be on my ass right now.
And so I'm on her ass. For you.
You can see, can you see the people that's watching you?
Oh, that's who did my shirt. Oh, Asher Range. I don't know how to say that first name. Hey,
So-
Ash.
Oh,
Okay.
I see you envy me.
Oh, I see you envy me, girl.
So go ahead and put your
I
hashtag.
gotta read.
Go ahead and put your hashtag down. Her hashtag. If she's
Put
sharing,
your information in
Put
the
your
comments.
Put your
information.
information in the comments, Ashley. I hope you didn't log up there because your phone was down. That's what you
She's
said.
not. She didn't. And
Oh.
so our very own 25-8 said that was inspirational.
and he's also
Oh, hi, 25.
He does custom prints as well.
Oh, okay.
but he's supporting.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm gonna start your shit. Right on, brother. Okay, next.
Back to my question.
Your question.
Okay, back to the
emotions.
question. Emotions make you cry sometimes. Not over here though. What you said?
I said, so why? Why can't you do emotions?
Hashtag love life. Okay, so
Oh, love life. Oh,
don't start. Don't. Okay, let me answer the question, sir.
All day, every day, baby, because I'm a thug. What it
County
changed
five,
for
six,
the
one, you know
world.
what's up.
Oh.
All right, so
I was just helping out a little bit.
anyways, okay, let me back up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So the harder side of me wants to say I don't do emotion. I do emotion. It is a work in progress in learning how to be vulnerable. I'm sure we can attest to the fact that it's not always easy putting yourself out there, right? You want to feel safe. You want to be in a safe space. So that's it. But I think I've definitely come a lot further. Because had I started crying, honestly, I would have let it ride into the sunset. Maybe, most likely. But, you know, it's just a work in progress. I think it's just that, your defense mechanism. Because sometimes, which it should not be looked like this, I want to preface this with this. Sometimes I think people see, like, expressing or crying certain emotions as being a weakness. And then I think for me, I don't want people to feel like it is a weakness and they can come. So instead, I just block that shit. But I am finding, as I'm getting older and as I'm working through some things, seasoned, vintaged, like wine. Because there's y'all don't know this one. Okay, anyways, it's a whole lot of stuff over there that's vintage wine and stuff. Anyway, But I think as I'm getting more seasoned, I'm recognizing that, you know, there's actually strength in your emotions and being vulnerable and being able to put yourself out there. You know, I'm not saying I'm perfect with it. It's definitely hit or miss, but I'm much more vulnerable now, though. Like, had this been like even a year ago, it really, child, we couldn't even have this conversation right now. Like, I'd be like, shit. You know, but there's been a lot of work in play. And because I do want that, and I think that with that vulnerability brings that sensuality, the femininity, that side. That a lot of times I think, don't kill me, people, but I think sometimes we as strong Black women kind of sometimes we lose out on that in trying to be strong for so many other people that we forget that we first and foremost need to take care of ourselves. So it's some deep shit in all of that.
Come on.
You drink your 15 beer. But I think that there's a lot that goes
Don't
into
do
play
it.
with
Don't
that.
do it. I know what he's finna do.
So like, that's interesting that you say that. All right? And I'm with the shit.
No, we can get to the topic. No.
I'm with the shit.
No.
Okay, we'll give a 1 point, Bible.
I'm with the shit. It's like
You only get one shit though.
Okay,
One
no
shit,
problem.
not shit.
Or
so
turd.
when it comes to female,
Yeah.
male, hold
Yeah.
on, let me finish my statement before you cut me off. When it comes to female, women, and men interaction, do you want your man to be emotionally transparent with you?
Absolutely.
So don't you think?
That I should then be emotionally transparent with him. But what I think it's about is creating a safe space for both parties. Because the thing about it is that I feel like, and I think I can speak for some women because I have women friends. I know.
Are you a woman?
I am a woman. Oh shit! What I said?
I can speak.
Oh shit! I'm sorry. I think it's the
Oh, my
I know
What's this
it's
called?
a little big baby drop.
A baby drop.
Sorry. Well, guys, I am a woman. I promise. Born and raised.
I know.
All of that. Born in the country.
I got you.
I'm sorry. As a woman, as a friend to many women. Okay, let me make sure
You
I know
good.
what I thought.
You good?
Yes.
Carry
I
on.
think that, you know, it's about creating those safe spaces because I think that women do want to be vulnerable, but because that's a whole nother conversation that we can't get into right now because I know we have another topic. But because of other things and entities, you know, we've had to be strong Black women, independent women, But I know, at least I can speak for myself, and this is that I want support. I want to have partnership. But I think it comes with creating safe spaces where that vulnerability is able to come out for you as a man and for me as a woman. So if I feel safe enough with you to go there, that's amazing. And I would hope that I would be your safe space as well for you to be vulnerable at the same time.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Don't hurt me.
Clank, clank.
Because she's just leaving the door open. Leave the door open.
And if we didn't have another topic, ladies and gentlemen, I promise I would be willing to go through all the doors.
Listen.
With this right now, this young man.
All I'm going to say is this is the Sipping the Conversation with Buddha and Baby. And I, as well as Baby, can change the direction of the show at any moment in time.
Boss move, hashtag.
And you notice how I said either I or Baby. You see that?
You see how they did it? You saw they did it right now?
You see
You see how they
exactly.
did it right now?
So I did get
Baby, and you see, baby ain't even much say nothing.
because she wanted to, but then
No,
So
that man is the man, and I know how to be in my place.
Oh,
somebody was watching
Oh, no,
Kevin
it's-
Samuels. I don't know why, man. I mean,
I know how to maintain my femininity.
yeah.
So go ahead. What you gonna ask me? A question?
I don't have a question, sir.
You can ask me a question.
Don't have one, I promise. I don't.
No questions.
No
But-
question.
All right.
All right, so let's get to the topic. See,
Something.
That's good stuff right now.
That was real good.
It's good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So what's up, Simples? How y'all doing?
Okay.
Have y'all enjoyed tonight? Don't mind me.
Oh, you know it's the season finale, so she about to get geeked.
Season
Oh.
finale.
Geeked up. Started to see spaceships on Bankhead. Bay stars.
I wasn't ready.
You
She
was-
wasn't ready.
You were supposed to be.
No, I was observing. I'm
Hey,
for all
listen,
of
we
it.
good, man.
That's how we shift. That's the shift.
I'm here for
So
it.
we
That's
went
how
to
the
shit.
atmosphere
So we went
just
to
shift.
shits.
Cause we stay on them shits.
I do have one last question, but this has nothing. It's not deep. It's not deep at all. I promise you. It's not deep. So, you've seen the show, right? You've seen the show from time to time, right?
Yes, sir.
So how do you feel actually being on the show versus watching the show live?
How do I feel? PC would be. I feel honored to be here. I feel good. I mean, it might be a little different for me than maybe some. I mean, I'm sure y'all had some folks on here that be y'all folks too, but like these are like my people. So it's like it feels good. Like it feels, like basically earlier today, earlier on, I was like, well, y'all can give me the questions, like, what's up? And she's like, no, you with your folks, like you good. And I'm like, oh my God. But like it really is just like having a conversation. So it's really cool though because your energy and the thing is that I could have zoomed into this, but I was kind of like, no, I want to drive up. And I'm so glad I did because the energy is genuine, it's very authentic. It's just, it is what it is, right? And I think that creates for a very good show because then your guests, me being your guest here,
Be a guest, be a guest, be a guest.
Feels comfortable to be completely who they are too.
I never seen that.
That's the key of C sharp for those of you who know I think I can sing. That's what it was. Anyways, but yeah, so it's really cool though. Like I like the fact that I can completely be who I am and completely put out there, what I'm doing, and it's not like trying to think of like the correct thing to say. I mean, on my behalf it is, but not because of y'all. But yeah, so I'm excited to be here. And then I didn't even know when I said like this date would be the date that I would come that this was going to be the season finale. So I'm like for real, like earlier I was like I'm really honored, but like I'm seriously honored because y'all could have had anybody in the world, but y'all wouldn't be here. Y'all want to be here with me. So,
I just said, turn up.
I'm excited and I'm interested to see what this topic and what's coming next.
No, it's good. It's good. And thank you.
Oh.
For actually, I know you had other things to do while you're here, but being here and being on our show and, actually talking about soul movement and, yes, I do know her personally for several years now. And I know, because when I first met Miss Samantha, she was not soul movement. I mean, it was always in her. She was the psychologist, school psychologist, but she was always dance.
Always.
She was always dance. And so, for me, it's like I almost cried just then because I've seen the growth from where she wanted to be, where she was to where she wanted to be. And, it's going to be the ups and downs as she's been talking about, but the passion never left. The desires, and so she's basically manifested this shit, you know what I'm saying?
Word.
And it's like, she's doing it. And she's still kind of, low-key doing her degree stuff.
Absolutely.
So, cause we got to keep the rent
You gotta
paid.
keep the rent paid.
You know what I'm saying? We got to make sure the kids have everything they need. And so, again, it's for underprivileged, less deserving and things, all those things she said. So that means somewhere along the lines, the gap needs to be filled.
Absolutely.
Okay? So with that also being said, if you would like to, be a sponsor or you would like to contribute to Soul Movement LLC, how can the people reach you?
If you go to movewithsoul.com, there is a donate button or page on there, or a tab that you can go on to do it that way. We are you can always contribute to that, always, but just so you're aware, right now we're going into the summer, so our season has ended. We have our end of the year recital actually on Saturday. Kudos to the babies, because but we're doing that on Saturday. But there's so you can still donate right now, and it's put into a separate account. So then that way, we do have our kids that come in that can't afford it, or if they need ballet shoes, tights, leotards, whatever. We kind of have something there. for them. Our season starts back in September. So if you think, hey, I want to sponsor a kid or something like that, you can donate that way. You can contact me on Facebook. Well, one, you can contact me through movewithsoul.com. There's, you can send an email directly
And that's
to me.
slowly.
I'm sorry, movewithsoul.com is the website. All one word. Yes, yes, sir. On Facebook is Soul Movement LLC.
Like that right there?
Like that right there. Oh my gosh, there it is. Okay, why am I waving at it like it's a person? Okay, yes, that's it. Oh my God, I love that.
Technology.
Okay, because honey, she is old school. Okay, but that's another story again for another day. Also on Facebook.
That's why she have a team.
Yeah. Love y'all, mean it. On Facebook, Soul Movement LLC, and on Instagram is soulmovement.artistry. So you can contact me there, and if there's something, I'm up for collaborations. I'm up for whatever. Like, I'm open in any way that we can continue to give these kiddies dance, where they don't have to come too much out of pocket. I'm open to that. I also do have a nonprofit, Soul Movement Creative Art Space. We're actually working right now to create a board and to do some things. So anybody who has any insight on that as well, I'm open to it because, again, I'm doing this, but it is about community. So I definitely believe that it like they say, it takes a village to raise a child. So Movement is my child. If you got something to give, let's raise it up. Yeah. So that's where we are with it. And that's that.
Very good. So again, tonight we've been with Miss Samantha Tiel by means of Facebook, aka Samantha Cyprian. She's the owner and founder of Soul Movement LLC. It is a dance organization for young people.
Mm-hmm.
It serves, her primary target area is those that are underprivileged and or have a desire for dance.
Absolutely.
Okay? So, you can find her on IG. You can find her on almost all the social media platforms. And so, again, if you are interested in being a sponsor or donating or just being a part of the movement as a whole, movewithsoul.com is where you can contribute financially.
Mm-hmm.
On IG, she is soulmovement.artistry. But on all the other platforms, she is Soul Movement LLC.
Yes, ma'am.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. So I just want to make sure I have all of that. And that's on all of your platforms. You will be Soul Movement LLC so that they will be able to see it. That's where you can find her.
Yes.
She is not accepting any friends on Facebook.
Because she's single.
Does somebody want to be my friend?
No, I'm just joking. Y'all can be her friend.
Yeah, be my friend. I like friends.
Shout out to Cody.
But I'm single and unavailable.
Shout out to
Unavailable. We have this is gonna be one of my next guests. She don't know it yet, but she will be. She just gonna do it. She's gonna have to commit to it. Miss Royal, our other gym friend.
Oh, okay.
Hey Chanel, I can see. Okay.
Oh
So
boy.
is this-
All right.
Jim Jones. Oh, okay.
Jim Jones. So I don't know if I'm allowed to talk right now, but I don't really care because I think, what is this on?
We can do what we want to do.
Baby Drop has dropped. So Chanel, Naturally Royal, and then Baby, as you know her here. We used to work out early in the morning. God, I need to get back to that. Anyways, 5:30 in the morning.
AM.
LA Fitness sponsored them, and me too if you want. Anyways, but we were there early in the morning before working out, and we were like, that was the crew. We was the gym crew that morning, like literally, you would have thought we ran that spot. Mm-hmm. So shout out to Chanel, and all of us have now ventured out into our own. I'm sorry, but we've all ventured out into our own, our own things that we've talked about and been interested in, and now to kind of see all of us doing it. It's really, really amazing. So thank you, Chanel, for watching. And then I saw you clapping like that. That's so good. But yeah, I love them. We were stronger together.
Then Buddha came.
Oh.
And then there's Buddha. No,
and
then there was a Buddha.
and all that workout shit, we're out the window.
So maybe that should be for next season. This could be a topic of how we, fall in love and then we fall off our
Yeah, that'll be
yeah, for next season. Okay.
It took a while, but I had medical issues, so I had to take that into consideration.
Right. Yes.
So I love you and I miss you. Early morning at you every day. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
That was the way it was.
So good.
So they said, Buddha, you're slipping.
Oh.
Why am I slipping?
I don't know what you did, but you're slipping.
Is it because he?
I don't know.
Y'all gotta tell him how he's slipping.
Listen, I know we spent a lot of time with Miss Cyprienne. Oh, but it's okay because that's what we do because we can do what we does. Yes? And so
Let me slip.
boom. Just like that. Topic.
What are we talking about there?
What would or wouldn't
You
take to the grave?
Ooh.
Well, this was so nice. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm gonna head on out.
Oh man, come on now.
Like, okay.
I'm here for this.
I ain't gonna really, I'm not gonna tell you my personal business, but what would I take to the grave?
Ooh.
I would probably take to the grave a situation that, I wouldn't want my mama to know. More specifically, like, if you would have taken your mama car while she was asleep to take somebody out of town and come back and put the car back where it was,
That sounds good.
and they don't even know, we're going to the grave with that one.
I mean, whoever that mama is slept real good.
Okay.
She slept real good. That bitch said, I'm saying, listen, what I'm taking to the grave,
I mean, that was an example.
what I'm taking to my grave is my goddamn cell phone. Ain't nobody getting that shit. All that incriminating.
Look at this. I'm gonna need you to get off line.
What is that? What does that say?
That sound too. All I'm saying is I'm taking my cell phone and everything in it. All right.
Well, you ain't gonna have no control over that.
I'm just hoping that it's
well,
gone.
my sibling
Burnt up
has thorough instructions on what to do.
with said cell phone.
With-
Because you know.
Get the phone.
Because you know.
Before anything else.
The only thing you do with the phone
You got Pornhub.
is
You got all the naked pictures. You got everybody else.
the only thing my sister knows to do is
Delete.
you know what? Take that bitch. Okay, first of all. But first, go through the emergency contact list because there's people that need to reach me. You need to reach them. There's people you gotta reach them to tell them that it's, you know what I'm saying, about how, and they are listed in my emergency contact. So go through that and then hurry up and do like this and find real good pictures. And then
And that's it.
And then hard reset the phone and send it back.
And that's the last thing you want to see is a hard dick.
I need you to get I need you to
We own this thing. Like, at the end of the day, like, listen, the last thing I want people to, my mama, if I die before.
My mama is not gonna get my phone.
Listen, any of my parents still living while I'm, if I pass on. The last thing I want them to see is anything of me in a compromising position at all. You know what I'm saying? Like yesterday, baby decided to text me with an old picture of us, and I said, "Oh, look at this," but nobody else needs to see this. Nobody else needs to see it. That's the type of shit that need to be far, far away. Far, far away. Hi, baby.
All of the women here are just like this, cringing. So that's yep.
Far, far away. Far, far away.
I don't know. I never thought about that.
Listen, that phone will need to go.
Especially now that we, in this day and age,
Absolutely.
we are in a technology-based society, heavy on the technology.
Because right now, the only thing you need to know is me in the cloud. Nobody else. Nobody else.
In the cloud.
In the cloud. The cloud. Because the cloud ain't going to bring it out.
Yeah, it will.
Listen,
Unless-
that shit on your ass.
A few moments later.
That's the first thing on the top of my list. That's the first thing that needs to be gone.
Easier. Okay.
So,
okay.
What would you take to the grave?
Oh.
You ain't never done nothing.
A thing, a thought,
Give us a
an
thought.
action.
I ain't saying
What
you gotta
type?
see.
Okay, let's just be less specific.
Yeah.
What types of things should you take to the grave?
If I ain't told my bestest friend about it, that be
She got that too.
Damn, I don't want her to die. Oh, I love her.
Oh my God.
I love her. But because I'm a like honestly, I'm a pretty open book. So like, what they say? Oh. So no, I don't want my best friend to die because she got to tell the story. But like, because I'm a pretty like I kind of talk a lot about my life because I'm pretty open. So there's things that I haven't even decided to tell like not any one of like those immediate people. That shit got to go. I don't know about my cell phone. I mean, there's some news shots, but don't we all got those? I don't really know. Like your mama saw you when you was little naked, so like I don't really know about that.
She
But
gonna see like
growing naked and trying to put your
no,
legs up like this.
no.
With your leg like
And your
that.
legs in
I'm just talking about
a
like,
whole figure
the
eight.
videos of you in the compromising position.
I don't have any of those. See, that's the thing about me. I'm kind of a nerd in that way. Like I don't have any. I didn't say news shots. I said videos.
Videos
But at the same
of you
time-
just like in the big video. Like, I'm in this bitch.
Am I not living life? Because I don't have this with a dick in my hand. Wait, what's happening here? Wait, who's watching this? How y'all see who watching?
We don't know.
That's why it needs to go to the grave. All whole shit.
Well, let's
Needs
just
to
say
go-
the second half of this conversation needs to go to the grave because if we're talking about my legacy, this can't be taken. So we're gonna take this second half. I do agree with the phone, even though I don't feel like I have too much incriminated stuff. But I'll say the phone, this second half of this interview, and everything that I have not told like my closest of circle of friends, because you know they know.
So, like for example, like I'm gonna give you a true lie. This happens in real life. So, in one instance, right, somebody died, right?
Yeah.
And one person thought they was the main chick.
Oh, now that do be
Ooh.
happening.
And
I don't be thinking about shit like now. That I do think about. That
and
yeah.
one
That's
chick
valid.
think they the main chick, but they go to the funeral and find out this
But
whole time
that's why I'm glad I changed
they
my
was
life.
a side chick
I changed my life.
the whole time. Like
It
you
was
been,
not the main.
they were never the main chick, but they find out on man's death. Kudos to him, cause he ain't got to deal with it no more. Oh!
That's like, let me tell you, there was a time in my life before this.
I'm here for the shits.
Yeah, I yeah.
I'm ready for
I'm
the
done
shit.
talking. I'm done talking.
Go to the
I mean, okay. On the flip side, because there's always a flip side. Why y'all stop laughing and y'all, collect yourself.
Sorry.
You're fine.
What shouldn't you take to your grave?
What shouldn't you take?
What wouldn't you take? And so,
Hmm.
amazingly, that was one of the, you guys were on the show last night when you mentioned it. You mentioned what we were going to kind of talk about. That was actually one of the things that I was thinking. And so I agree that what I would not want to take is recipes or sound advice, you know, my legacy, the things that lead to my legacy, you know. I would not want to take that to the grave. I would not want to take to the grave things that could help my grandchildren. Because, you know, I don't want to necessarily say secrets, but unresolved matters being unrectified or just at least not in progress of being, you know, resolved or whatever, you know, some kind of balance. So I would prefer not to, you know, I'm somewhat of an open book. Obviously, I'm a big open book because of our platform. However, there's still, you know, areas of my life that I do need to keep personal and private, you know. And so with that being said,
go ahead.
With that being said, I have grandchildren, you know, so when they look back, they'll know this probably. Yeah, that sound like my grandma, you know. That sound like my nana, you know what I'm saying? Like if they were to ever watch any of our shows or whatnot. So to kind of answer your question, I'm gonna answer Buddha's question.
What was my question?
About my legacy.
See, I prepared her for that. I didn't answer the question, but she's been answering.
Well, I'm gonna answer. He asked me. He said he's gonna prep me for it, but I'm gonna answer him, and this kind of goes into what I'm about to say, based on what his question is. So for me, my legacy, which is a question that he generally asks our guests, and I thank you for that, is, you know, what legacy, what do I want to see? What would baby want to see in the end? Well, in the end, I would like to feel that I have impacted as many people as possible. More importantly, those that are my loved ones. More importantly, my grandchildren, because I have 5 on. I got 5 on it.
And potentially more coming.
Right. Well, at a later point in time. We still got 3 more, 4 more that could actually break bread. Well,
I got you. My two.
Baby girl, and JJ.
And then my 2.
That's what I said. Your 2, baby girl, JJ. They all can possibly. Okay, so we could have more, but in the meantime, between time, right now, in the now, you know, I want that my grandchildren look at not just the show, but just see that what kind of impact that I authentically, genuinely had on people. And for a long time, I talk about this a lot in my All About the Ladies group, and you know, finding your purpose and knowing your purpose. So for a long time, I didn't know what my purpose was. I was thinking it was supposed to be some big thing. And so as I began to learn myself more and more, I realized I fucking was already in my purpose. I just hadn't honed in on it. It just hadn't come to me. I was just looking at it in the wrong perspective. Because I was always the go-to person. I was always the confidant. I was always that person. And I would always give to the best of my ability, my best advice. I would give, you know, just, hey, not just telling you what you should do. At a point in time, I did. Like probably with my kids, I would say what you need to do. But that's just leadership, you know, guidance. But then, and periodically with my close ones, okay, I did. Y'all might say, no, she did. She always told me what to do. I did, and I didn't. But I'm saying all that to say, I would give my best advice, my best guidance, and didn't really understand that I was already walking in my purpose. Okay? And so, as I got older and, more seasoned, I got more seasoned, okay? And I really understood myself for who I was and what I wanted along my path and all the things that come along with it. I came to a realization that I was already on my purpose. And so with that being said, I don't want to go to my grave not having impacted my grandchildren, more importantly.
I like that.
And that encompasses all the things that I'm doing. The podcast, the ladies group, me being a wedding officiant, me being a notary, me being a friend, me being a daughter, me being a woman, me being his woman. You know what I'm saying? Me being Nana. Like all the things that you refer to me as you know me by that name or that position for a particular reason. And I want you to say, if and when it's my time, that she lived.
Absolutely.
And she was really serious about it. Like she really meant that. I'm not gonna meet the mark all the time, okay, with the individual, but I've come to accept this, that I can't please everybody. And I'm not trying to please everybody. But you will never say that I wronged you intentionally. That's my legacy that I would like to leave.
Okay. I'm glad you answered that, baby.
And I'm only going to that depth because this is our season finale and Buddha challenged me. And here we are. And that's what I would not take to the grave.
So I'll preface my answer what I wouldn't take to the grave with saying this. I went to a funeral one time and I was in awe because of what was said and how it was said and how it was illustrated. But it wasn't illustrated from nobody else but the person who passed away. So I'm not gonna do this for myself. If Lord willing have the opportunity to do this before I pass away, not everybody gets that opportunity. So this guy wrote his whole autobiography from start to finish, obituary, his whole life, and was able to express himself to everybody he needed to express himself to.
That's dope.
And all they did was just read it. So that got me to thinking. So I'm gonna answer the same question because I didn't ask myself this question, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you hear me say this numerous times, right? So I'm gonna start here, and hopefully y'all can follow me, right? So if you haven't been paying attention over the last few days, we had Father's Day. I dropped the Father's Day video. Shout out to Coeasy again for helping me and all the men who were a part of this.
Bring your idea to fruition.
Absolutely.
Bringing
It was a
it
great video. It was a good video, guys. I watched it earlier. Good stuff.
And shout out to the people who was involved. But I did all that, and I'm doing this now and still continuously because I do not have a relationship with my children, right? And I'm afraid that one day I might pass on and they may not have the understanding of their father. In case of, now I built systematically episode beyond episode beyond episode beyond episode of ideas and ideology and thought process of said man that they can follow and build their own opinion.
Absolutely.
And not just, even if we and them have that understanding, right? Even when we come together and we have a great relationship, well, guess what? I have grandkids, great grandkids who's going to ask their mothers who was their great granddaddy. And guess what? Now they have chronological documentary from his own testimony. Yeah. Where they can draw their own opinions of their great grandfather. And that is why I do what I do.
But back on that ratchet shit.
I love that.
What would I take to the grave?
That's good stuff.
Okay. I got another one. Another example.
Go ahead. Hit me with it. I know what I take to the grave. But go ahead, baby.
I ain't gonna say it. Go ahead.
I know a couple episodes ago, we had two men who had sex with the same woman and got her pregnant.
Oh, yeah.
If I was said woman, I'll pick one.
Pick one!
And take the other one. You ain't the father.
But the thing about it is that happens more often than anybody wants to admit anyway.
And get married to him, and once they sign the papers,
That's it.
use the baby's pappy.
As wrong as that is, that's what happens.
I mean, I don't know. What else would I take to the grave? I don't know. I'm probably like I done been on some capers.
All the motherfuckers I
I'm gonna
fucked
say
that
that.
I supposed to fuck, you ain't fuck me.
Like all the people that you don't put on your list,
Oh Lord.
on your list of, the people you don't count, your body count. Like I ain't got no big old body count. Oh my God, no.
We're not
But
talking about body counts.
I'm just saying we're not talking about body counts, but I'm gonna take to the grave the people that I did.
Yeah.
A couple of them.
Couple of them need to go
Yeah.
down.
Well, I done pushed them to the way back anyway. So
I mean, but I cannot talk about. I'll take them to the grave. A couple of them.
Yeah. A couple of them late night creeps that nobody know about. You going to the
Late
grave.
night, going to
You going to the grave. And just know, in an honesty moment, as in an honesty moment, you were never good enough to be seen in public. I'm telling you.
I mean, and if you see me in public, are you gonna do it?
You don't know me. That's T.I.
I mean, first of all, you and I both know we weren't supposed to do what we did.
But we did it anyway.
Okay.
And we enjoyed it. But nobody needs to know that.
Nobody will ever know.
Oh no!
How will they know?
First of all,
they won't
she
never
acting
know.
so surprised, like she ain't lived the life. She lived it, but she's not telling.
I ain't even gonna front, y'all. Okay, in case y'all didn't get the memo, I am 45 years old. Okay, and I have 3 children. One is 29. Do the math. One is 24.
Get it right. Don't fuck up.
And one is 18. Okay, have to make sure I
Got the numbers right.
give him boy. So just do the math. All right. I mean, and I'm not saying I'm out there kind of round the way fillet,
Just know.
but I'm not.
She's
I am
been
not
fucking
like.
a long time.
Wait a minute. That was the point of not around away for late.
Listen,
I said I wasn't around the way fillet.
I'm just saying.
I had a situation that happened. And then the rest of it became, okay, now I'm a little bit more experienced in this thing. So I knew what I was doing.
So for those who are concerned,
and I love all of them equally.
for those who are concerned, you know what I'm saying? Once you lose your virginity, either you like sex or you don't. But if you do like sex, it's only the beginning.
But I'm going to take to the grave with a few things. I'm just trying to head out.
20 minutes.
What say you, Sam?
What now?
What say you, Sam?
What I'm supposed to be saying?
Oh,
I've been chiming in from the sidelines, but
you
y'all
a sideline chick.
But today only, not any other time. Just right now.
So-
for those who know, I'm single and unavailable. Not sideline chick. Just right now.
Oh, believe it or not, he does look for models, and he does have apparel.
You know what? What you're not gonna do is be out here.
Oh, that's true, man. So I'm always gonna advertise.
Yeah, you will.
And I'm gonna be like
in-
this.
in trouble.
No,
What you did.
I always gotta pay the piper.
negative.
We're not gonna do that to me.
Shit.
Sinead. What would you not take to the grave?
What?
What would you not?
What would I not?
Yeah, I did. I flipped it.
You did. You flipped the script.
She
You got
was
nervous.
not gonna answer that question.
No, I had already kind of answered it earlier. What would I not take? I think it goes back, piggybacking a little bit off of what Baby said about, not wanting to take those things that could, essentially make whether it's the descendants of me, whether, descendant or just those around me. I won't want to take anything that would keep them from being great. So whatever it is that I figured out in all of this thing called life that allowed me to move in a certain manner that might have been a little bit easier and able to handle what we've been given, then I would want to give that to them as well. Like why take that with you? You can't use it, right? So if there's anything that you can give to those who are coming after you to be better people. So what?
She's so technical. Like she's saying all the right things.
I'm just being real.
I got that. But I'm gonna ask her a question. Curveball.
Oh God.
Is there anybody in your life that you will unfuck?
Well, goddamn.
Curveball.
Yes.
Is there some unfuckable guy?
Yes. Maybe more than one. Yes. You guys look dead at shit. Yes.
You know who you are.
You know who you are, and those are the ones that will be going with me to my grave. Bye-bye.
Ta-da.
Nobody gonna know.
Baby.
And claim. Thanks.
Is there anybody in your portfolio or fucking? Is there anybody in your portfolio or fucking that you will unfuck?
Oh my God, this shit get wild after the guest moment. Okay, go ahead.
Would I?
Go ahead and sip on it. In your portfolio, since you said your numbers are not great, but there are numbers.
Yeah.
But I think we all probably have like, not saying this.
That's why I said they don't.
They going to the grave.
Yeah, I think that we all can have some people where it's like you look back, like they always say like don't have regrets, but sometimes
I
you
ain't
look
regret
back,
it.
and it's not. But I think you have those moments where you're like,
I just didn't know that's the experience I was gonna get.
So
like,
here's the question. Here's the
That's
question.
what you did. That's what you brought to the table.
So here's the question. Now, I'm not saying any of you women been in this situation, right? I'm not saying that, but there's a situation where you might have to fuck for a bill.
Huh?
Like, nigga, like, you need a rent paid. You need a rent paid, right? And somebody had the money to do it, but you had to do a little
But it wasn't me.
I'm in a bind.
Strange for a little change. Would you take that to the grave? Like said,
Absolutely.
like said person off what was that movie with
Set it off.
Set It Off.
I'm in a bind, Nate. That's what that quote was.
Yeah.
Stormy said it. Yeah, that would definitely be a yes.
I think that's terrible.
Really? Is it?
I don't know if it's terrible or not, but I know if I had to do it, nobody would need to know about it. But that bill got paid.
I mean, hey man. So the next question is, since we talking about taking shit to the grave, in simplest, if you feel compelled to answer this question, by all means do it. Has anybody fucked for money?
For the money?
Wait. I don't know if people want to reply to that. Someone's like,
Don't reply. What's
That's
like,
like
that's taking you to the grave. Take it to the grave.
I love it. Because you need to take it to the grave. I'm just
I
saying.
mean, if you've
I'm
done
giving you more
some
examples.
inappropriate, uncompromising things for the team.
Taking it for the team, right? You
oh
what
my
I'm
God, taking for the team is something serious, man.
Well, have you ever took it for the team?
I haven't, but for some reason, people always assume that I would be the one to take it for the team. I don't know what that's about. Gosh.
Meaning that you've done something that you truly didn't want to do, but it was.
Oh no, but I wouldn't be willing to. But I mean, but I think that. But I don't even know if they necessarily expect you to take it though. I think it's one of the things like, come on, man, take it for the team.
But that's
like they
interesting.
really expect that you're gonna do it.
That's interesting though.
What's interesting, shit?
Because
I'm gonna go.
Because what a
tangle well, we.
Absolutely, but I'm not saying I have not ever taken one for the team. I'm just saying I know that that's something that comes up often.
Oh, she has an excuse. So check this out.
Baby needs to exit stage.
Oh my God! It's the season finale, guys, and
It's
all
apparently it's
no regrets. I lived, I loved, I experienced.
Absolutely.
So I mean, what's interesting about what you just said is that really doesn't leave room for the other person that's in your life, right? Because when you're dealing in relationships, right? When you're dealing in a relationship, it's always give and take, and it's not always going to be on your end of the stick.
Mm-hmm.
So when you say to me that you never took one for the team, it easily says to me that you always been on one side of the stick.
That's a lot. So let me tell you what that means. Now, for my friends who are out there in my even I think most exes say this. I'm a pretty loyal person, and I'm down for the team. I'm down for my people in general. Like if you my people, she's my people. So I'm down for you. But at the end of the day, too, there is a thing of self-preservation. And sometimes I can't just take it. I'm sorry. Like, yeah, this could really help us do that. I can't do it. I can't. I love y'all. I can't make it happen. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm here for taking one for the team to a certain extent.
So I'm gonna put a situation out here, and I want to know where you go with this. All right. So you find yourself in a financial bind.
Yeah.
And obviously, you don't particularly.
I'm in a bind, Nate.
You don't have the money.
Right.
Right. But your significant other doesn't have the money, but he's have access to get the money.
Mm-hmm.
But what he would have to do is take a weekend rendezvous with another person, said person, but when he comes back, everything, that whole bill will be paid in full. Would you allow your mate to take that rendezvous in order to pay that necessary bill that needs to be paid?
I'm going to turn this question over to those who are watching. What would you do in this scenario? Would you go ahead and let said mate go on this weekend rendezvous, or would you just say, baby, we're going to get it up ourselves? Let's make this a question for the audience.
I'm here for it. I'm here for the shit.
Yes.
But I also want to hear what she has to say.
Oh.
Continue. Because this is a show, and we need to know.
It's real talk, real life,
real people.
Holy smokes.
Because at the end of the day, once you probably take that to the grave. You probably would take that to the grave.
That's the point. I think it would definitely depend on the level of commitment of relationship that I'm in with said person, and then we would definitely have to have a full understanding of, look, this is what this weekend is about. So yes, we got to get this money up, and if we just can't do it, I'm in a bind, Nate. I need this money, so I'm gonna need you to go ahead and twerk something like a real person.
I mean,
and then come back, we'll take us to the grave. So yes. Okay, fine. I will let him go do something small thing for a piece of change.
So,
and don't talk about it no more. Maybe.
On the flip side of that, fellas, like listen.
Fellas don't want their woman to go out there and do that. I understand. The question to the people who are watching.
I understand what you're saying, but right. I'm really, because it's turnabout is fair play, right?
Sure.
Turnabout is fair play. Do you agree? So, if you as a man can't hit them with the 3 P's, protect, provide, and lay pipe.
Mm-hmm. I said protect twice. My bad.
In this instance, it's provide, not protect and pipe, right? Mm-hmm. And you find yourself in that bind, right? Mm-hmm. And she has a friend.
Your brother's probably ain't gonna want to deal with that.
I understand that, but here's the thing.
Put it out there. Now.
What's that? I mean, here's the thing.
Like,
y'all live together, right?
No.
I'm saying y'all live together. Rent need to be paid, or y'all asses out.
Right.
Are you gonna let her go ahead and fuck?
Ask the dudes out. Don't ask me. Ask the dudes out. Y'all gonna let her?
Would you men folk let your broad, your woman,
get smashed
in
order to pay the rent, or would you go get it up?
I mean, or
because I just put her through a series of questions.
Or no.
Where she really had to think about it and answer it in the best interest of, does she need whatever need to be paid?
Especially if she's in a position where she's probably the most.
You really think
she has the best avenue to get the situation rectified.
I mean,
okay.
Like my man said,
are y'all gonna let her and not hold this? No, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gonna still love her. Cause y'all get in your feelings.
We sure do, man. Like,
even though.
So for me, if I allow her to go out there, because obviously I had to be okay with her going out there.
You co-sign.
I had to co-sign on this. It's gonna be a whole lot of fucking afterwards. I got to fuck the other dude off Bobble.
The end.
All right. Is there a sponsor moment or no?
That's what goes to the grave.
All right.
And it goes to the grave like it never happened.
All right, listen.
And she gotta get punished.
Just pause.
Why
for a
she
minute.
gotta get punched?
We'll be right back.
Wait.
Oh, this is for the simples. Yeah. We sipping in conversation. We sipping in conversation. We sipping in conversation. Yeah. We sipping in conversation.
We might. Hey.
Hey, listen. This was great. There was a lot of plot twists. Only because the guest, she played alone. She played right into my hands. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, she said simple trigger words that allowed me to develop another question.
Cause y'all know your boy. Y'all already know. Y'all been riding with us for season after season, week after week. Okay? And so y'all already know how he's the plot twister.
But I will say this. Shouts out to whoever these people is. Baby.
Yes. So
I'm wearing.
the fatherhood way,
Yeah.
which was
You better tell the truth because you was flirting real hard.
I did not flirt.
Hard.
I
To the
wasn't.
fact-
But
to
they
the
were
fact that-
handsome.
To the fact that uncle had to call and say, like, listen here.
Who?
Your uncle.
Oh my
Listen here, Lee.
Hell but Dennis.
You dead ass wrong and I'm with
He
you.
didn't say I was wrong.
He said you was all the way wrong.
Well, maybe he told you when y'all talked. He didn't say I was wrong
He
to
said
me. He
you
was
were
just
wrong.
like, well, niece.
You know,
That was a little.
I ride with Buddha, he said.
He went on ahead and took a place in position. So with that being said, I'm gonna show y'all what we're talking about, okay? For the ladies in the bike.
For the ladies. These supposed to be attractive, like. I'm not hating on them, but I think I look better.
Let's see it right here.
Then.
Cause y'all know I don't play. You know what I'm saying?
Look at how she flirting with these motherfuckers. I can't hear it, man.
Can y'all hear the video?
I can't hear shit.
Can't hear it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let me make sure y'all can hear it. You can't hear it, but you can see it, right?
Mm-hmm. She all in. Oh, they lookable.
So,
Lookable.
nevertheless, these fellas right here in the bike, look at Smiley. Hey, how you
See
doing?
that look on her face?
I took it off of him. I'm just saying. All right.
Then she said, baby, I love you. Buddha, I love you. And then continued.
I mean, and a shout out to Adrian Skinner, R.I.P. Adrian Skinner. I love you. I love you. I love you. Dress up. Thank you for being there. All right. So I'm just moving along. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what we do. So basically, what these fellas are doing, they're telling you his name's Supreme. Oh God, I forgot his name. Oh, I figured. I'll tell you.
I'm not hating.
But nevertheless, these were the guys. But the ultimate goal.
Just in case you're watching, I am Buddha.
He is the Buddha. Okay, he is the man that I gave a proper shout out to.
Yeah.
Number one.
Listen.
The man with the master plan.
Listen, at the end of the day,
Just saying.
I ain't wrong.
So I only gave them a shout out, really and truly, because what they are representing is fatherhood. Okay? And because there's such a stigma about people of color and fatherhood, they don't mesh. When I saw them, like, I was taken aback. and they, you know, not just the fact that they were lookable guys, they really are. I mean, it is what it is.
You see that over there?
But at the same time, they obviously are fathers, you know.
Yeah.
I
Time
have a father that passed away.
Time out.
What?
Simples. I just want y'all to pay attention, right?
What?
That is her homegirl. And she is coinciding with the shits.
I mean, I'm saying, like,
She just straight up put her hand up, like, I don't give a damn what's right or wrong. I'm here for the shit.
no!
Like this
I'm
because
saying,
he-
I got a father. Okay, obviously. I didn't just come in, I just, you know, I mean, I feel like I'm angelic and shit.
Good
But,
try.
you know, I mean,
Hey,
I really
coinciding
feel
with the
that
shits.
we always talk about changing the narrative.
You're right.
Okay, and then herein lies two fellas that are pushing the agenda on
Fatherhood.
fatherhood.
Oh,
Okay, and
okay.
I mean, it is what it is. If they were lookable.
Excuse me. I'm gonna put this.
And so, what does a father do? What does it say a father do?
He gets
A
3
father
peas.
will protect his family by any means necessary.
Which is great, by the way. But here's the point that I need to make, because before this fatherhood shit came into fruition, me and said baby had a said conversation about Juneteenth and Father's Day. Then all of a sudden, these lookable guys said, "Hey, they have a good cause, fatherhood," when she clearly was trying to be like, and
No.
Juneteenth is here.
Tell the truth, shame the devil.
I was on said roll.
And I said,
Versus, and I'm gonna give you the context of the conversation, right?
you better tell the truth, damn it.
I was like, Juneteenth is a good cause, right? It's a really good cause. But why the fuck does it have to coincide and take away from Father?
And then look at what the hell happened.
Why does it have to take away from
Why
Father?
did the
Then all of a sudden, don't try.
drop
Don't
right
try. So then she was
it
like,
dropped right in my mouth.
she was like, listen, I don't understand what the problem is.
I didn't say that.
In so many words, like you overreacting.
I didn't say
You're overreacting. Then a few moments later, these lookable guys who's talking about fatherhood, not Juneteenth. Look at her. She's doing a whole commercial about, oh, look at her. Now, the whole conversation she was trying to tell me she was trying to tell me. She was trying to tell me
why can't you have both?
And I said,
because both of them are very important.
I'm agreeing with you.
Okay?
But you
And
tell me, hold
get
on.
to Juneteenth event.
So
and
check me out.
Plop, 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 plop,
I'm
plop.
gonna say
The
this.
fatherhood
I'm
way.
gonna say it like this. There's
Plop the
there's no other holiday that's celebrated coinciding with another holiday.
Sorry.
There's not.
I ain't got
There
nothing
is
to do
not.
with it.
They had to eat.
There's not.
We ain't got nothing to do
I
with it.
mean, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying now. It's just ironic.
So what did I do the rest of
It's
the
just
night?
ironic that Juneteenth
What did I do the
and
rest of the
Father's
night
Day
though?
is always
Huh?
gonna be the same week.
Huh? What did I do the rest of the night? I made sure.
She got hella drunk, opened the door. Happy Father's Day! And I'm doing the
I
same
was
thing.
not.
Look at the video.
I was. What they gonna show me saying Happy Father's Day?
With the door open while we drive.
They don't know what I'm doing. You had to tell me.
And it was still Happy Father's Day.
And it was still a Happy Father's Day, and all the men was waving.
I'm just
Man.
saying.
All right, y'all. Real talk.
I had to put it in context.
Thank you.
No, that's your version, but it's okay. Your perspective is always appreciated.
And pertinent.
Okay, because you are a father. Okay,
Okay.
and you are a person of
I'm
color.
just saying.
So we are
Look at me.
celebrating both.
Pay attention, guys. Just pay attention.
What did I say?
You celebrating both.
Both of them.
But pay attention. It's not fair to us. But we got to eat this shit like most men already have to eat bullshit anyway.
Y'all know how this shit goes.
Next.
We do too.
And if you don't understand, listen, I dropped the video for Father's Day. Please pay attention. Please like, follow, and
yes,
share
whatever
that.
you do.
Like, follow, and share that because a lot of people need to see that.
Yes,
Absolutely.
a lot of people do. I agree.
No,
And
it was definitely
It
wrong.
was good. I agree. I saw it.
It's a mall.
And if you want to be involved in said, little skits that I do, or even the show, please inbox us. Please, please do.
So, we are closing, and we totally, absolutely appreciate you all for these past 12 weeks.
Yeah.
Every guest that has come onto the show these past 12 weeks, we have been provided with a wealth of information, a wealth of knowledge, just a wealth of understanding for not just us as podcasters, as content creators, but as you as our viewers that's been watching. And so with that being said, if you, as you already saw, we had 2 commercials that came on. If you would like to be in the place of those commercials, make sure you get with us over the next 4 weeks because we will be on a hiatus, okay? And we will be coming back on for our season 10 in August, the first Wednesday in August, okay? Mm-hmm. So many may or may not know. I'm not exactly sure what you know, how you know, but I would like to believe that you guys are following us
on all social media sites,
on all our social media platforms. Mm-hmm. And so if you are in doubt as far as where to find our social media platforms, if you simply go to BuddhaBabiiiii.com, what will happen is you can find all the available platforms. However, while you are on our website, our web page, I should say, you can submit your topics that you have. If you have a scenario or a situation that you want to be discussed publicly, but yet you would like to remain anonymous,
we got you.
We got you, okay? But everything that you need to communicate with us in whatever avenue you would like to do so, you will be able to find those links as far as the drop down menu at www.buddhaandbaby.com. If you would like to participate as far as having a spot for commercials or advertisement for the type of services that you may be providing to the public and so forth, that is how you would need to reach us as well. Okay? Tonight, we've just been having a good time because, first and foremost, at the end of the day, this is our season 9, okay, finale. That means we have gone 12 strong weeks, okay, non-stop. And so normally your atypical season is like a year, but our seasons are 12 weeks. And we decided to do that 7 seasons ago. Mm-hmm. Because our first season, many may or may not know. So for our new sippers, thank you. But our first season, we went 33 weeks.
Straight. Just content killers.
Giving it up. Like Miss Samantha mentioned earlier, sometimes you just got to get out there.
You hit that bitch running. Not knowing what the hell to do.
She's a runner. She's a track star.
And look at us. Now we can consider ourselves podcasters.
All the TikTok.
And content creators.
Absolutely.
We do more than just podcasting.
Mm-hmm. You heard me say officiating a wedding.
Right.
Huh?
Shout out to
the barbers.
The barbers coming. Like this weekend.
I will be performing a ceremony on this Friday.
Right. So we'll be in 2 places at one time. Like I'll be on the show on the Good Friday, and she'll be doing the officiating of the wedding. And I know she's gonna knock it out of the park. All I ask her to do is fix me a plate.
That ain't gonna happen.
I know, baby. I know. But I had to throw that out there in the atmosphere.
I don't know why he be throwing that in there. We ain't even gonna talk about why he said that, but nevertheless, I am not fixing him a plate. Now, in the likelihood that a plate is provided and offered, then yes, I will. However, don't bank on it. I'm just saying. Because that's a little tacky.
So what you got going on again, Miss Sam?
About
What you got? You got your recital, your season recital.
Our end of the year show is this upcoming Saturday. Due to COVID, what we did is we recorded everything. And then we created some commercial breaks and some things like that. And so it's actually going to be showcased at one of the movie theaters down in West Palm Beach. So it'll be projected onto the screen for a little bit of soul movement cinema. I will have the link after Saturday to be provided, for a small fee to watch. And then eventually I'll just let it kind of be shared to the masses. But so we're doing that. We're off for the summer. It was a hard decision because I wanted to do a summer camp, but I had to take a break. So we'll be back for our new season, similar to they were just saying about how, they went their first time, it's like straight through. Normally dance seasons, you do have, it kind of is straight through. You have like your season and you go into the summer, but I'm taking the summer off because I just have many other things that are going on and then prepare for next season since we'll be coming back into a lesser COVID-ridden space. So I'm just going to, plan and prepare for next year. So we'll start back after Labor Day with our classes, probably do a winter showcase, which will be more of our fundraiser, and then have our end of the year show and some things in between. So I'll definitely make sure that I get you all the information when we have little fundraisers and things like that, just to keep you all in the loop. If for nothing else, just to see what the babies are doing down in West Palm Beach, twirling around.
Cool. And just for a tidbit for the fellas who are wondering, if you are trying,
what you finna do? You
Let me
finna
be
put my
great.
friend on the pedestal?
let me be great. For those who are inquiring about her single and unavailableness, the first thing you need is a set of good, polished, soft, glistening hands.
I hate you for that.
So if you have good hands, she will be paying attention. So flood her inbox with pictures of nice sets of hands.
Nice moisture. We want to be specific. Moisturized hands.
With strong
And if your
features.
cuticles are pushed back, that's great as well.
Right. So if you are a hand guy, because most guys are not hand guys, but if you happen to be one, that is.
Baby, let me see your hands.
And if you're not one and need assistance with getting your hands to where they need to be, inbox me still.
You're right.
Might as well.
And if you lick your lips, let them be moist.
At least put some butter bliss on your fingers.
Come on. So clearly just be moisturized in all avenues of your life. Thank y'all.
Clean and wash.
Just,
Listen.
I mean, she's unavailable, but that doesn't mean she can't be available at the right time. Mm-hmm.
Listen, final thoughts for tonight. Take what you need to the grave. Have a contingency plan in place.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for me, it's my sister. Okay, we got a plan. And but more importantly, don't take things that could potentially be a part of your legacy to the grave.
I like that.
Okay. It's been real, y'all. It's been real. Like, I mean, I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying. So, in final thoughts, these are the this is the information that you'll be able to locate Miss Single and Unavailable.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This is her IG platform, and this is most of her other platforms, social media platforms where you can reach her. But most of all, this is where you find us for advertisement, for hosting, for guest spots.
Okay.
Buddha?
No. Sam.
Oh, thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for those of you who tuned in. I hope you enjoyed the show. This was great. Thank you guys for having me. I'm hungry. This was wonderful. I don't know what that was much. Anyways, bye guys.
We sipping in conversation. Sipping in conversation.
Beat me up, Scotty. Beat me up, Scotty.
Sipping in conversation. We sipping in conversation. Sipping in conversation.
Beat me up, Scotty.